Shalom, shalom, first and foremost. I want to start by giving the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Makakodas. Double honors to the elders, single honors to the apostles. No, just preaching and teaching the word of truth with sincerity as always. Without any further ado, I'm just going to get into this lesson here. Intricate lesson going into, we'll see here. I'll start Revelation here, 13, verse 15 to 18. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, so that no man might buy or sell except he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom of him that has understanding. Count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666.
Once thought to be the height of a modern age, well, now they soon could be a reality. Bay Area aeronautical company Aleph says production of the world's first flying car is currently underway. It's happening at the company's facility in San Mateo. Joining me now to talk more about this is David Duchovny, CEO of Aleph. Jim Duchovny, I beg your pardon, Jim. I apologize. We were talking about something else during the break. Jim Duchovny, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the time today. This is obviously a very significant milestone for you. You unveiled the first prototype for this flying car a decade ago. What does it mean to you to now have this move into the production phase?
Sure. So I was on your show some time ago, and we communicated that we would be doing the first production starting at the end of 25, beginning of 26. And we're happy to do that. We do it on schedule right now that we actually started.
Okay, so you see the flying cars, you see the robot, you see the mark of the beast. All these things are adding up to the fourth industrial revolution of the AI of all things and stuff. And a part of that, it has all to do with the mark of the beast. Flying cars, robot. And by the way, these robots dodging an arrow of side flip. These robots are just showing you how advanced things Esau has, the advanced things, weapons Esau has. Magic Lab has released new footage of its humanoid robot Magic Bot Z1, showing powerful backflips, spinning kicks, fast dodging skills, and smoother movement that marks a major upgrade in agility. More Esau's toys / weapons. This is really a weapon. That's what they don't tell you as well. AI, that's really a military weapon. And like the brothers elders told me from SF, San Francisco, Los Angeles, showed the video showing a Metal Gear Solid, a old game, Metal Gear back in 2000 or 2001 or whatever. Showing these niggas what the fuck is showing them the agenda. They showed you AI in that fucking game. They showed you AI in that game. And in that little monologue where an excerpt of the game they showed you or whatever, they showed you the motherfucker telling you, bro, that this is military weapon stuff, boy. It's military weapon stuff, boy. So anyway, got another clip here. I'm gonna play it here. See it here.
Enterprises with big tech and big business. Democracy and free enterprise go out the window. Totalitarian government control slides in through the back door. Those behind this scheme are adamant that there can be and never will be a return to normal. That life will never again be what it was prior to COVID. That is why they constantly talk about the new normal. The World Economic Forum meets every January in Davos. You will have heard of the expression Davos man. It refers to all the zillionaires and pop stars and popes and princes and politicians who meet every year to map out our futures. This year's Davos is very, very different to all the previous ones. The World Economic Forum, along with the United Nations, along with the International Monetary Fund, and along with any number of prominent globalist organizations and powerful individuals, including Prince Charles, together have jointly promised that the 2021 World Economic Forum will be used to introduce via a vast network of connected big tech corporations, online activist movements and compliant local and national governments, something they called the Great Reset. This isn't some Sky After Dark fantasy conspiracy theory. It is a global commitment they have made to use the panic and fear generated by the coronavirus as a means to reshape all our economies and laws and move to a new form of capitalism that focuses on net zero emissions. You might think this is a great thing. You might think this is a terrible thing. If implemented successfully, the Great Reset will undeniably and deliberately have extreme and possibly dire repercussions for every single one of your constituents. Already, the Great Reset is being widely advertised on posters and in ads across the UK and Europe, and no doubt will be here before too long. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy is just one of their marketing slogans. The plan involves replacing shareholders of big companies with stakeholders who happen to be left-wing bureaucrats and climate change zealots. Replacing mum and dad small businesses and private enterprises with big tech and big business. Mrs. Kafut's share portfolio is out. Greta Thunberg's zero emissions are in. Democracy and free enterprise go out the window. Totalitarian government control slides in through the back door. But remember, it's not only a great reset, it's a great deception. Because in order to get everyday people to surrender many of the rights and freedoms we currently take for granted, the repeatedly stated aim of these organizations is to deliberately use COVID as an excuse, to use all the political and authoritarian tools, as Prince Charles puts it, that are currently being used around the world to eradicate the virus, such as lockdowns, exclusion zones, forced closure of businesses, heavy fines, making protesting illegal, and so on, but now to eradicate carbon emissions. Those behind this scheme are adamant that there can be and never will be a return to normal, that life will never again be what it was prior to COVID. That is why they constantly talk about the new normal. This is not me saying this. This is them saying it. The people with the power and the means and the obsessional desire to do it. And they keep telling us again and again precisely what they have in store.
Now is the historical moment, the time, not only to fight severe virus, but to shape the system. We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path. It is an opportunity we have never had before and may never have again. So we must use all the levers we have at our disposal, knowing that each and every one of us has a vital role to play.
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate and rebalance our world. rebalancing investment, harnessing science and technology, and advancing the transition to net zero emissions, all elements of the Great Reset, are fundamental to building the future we need.
And if it's still not clear, the book written by World Economic Forum boss Klaus Schwab himself, setting out precisely how the most powerful forces in the world are lining up to use the COVID-19 crisis as a pretext for introducing a new climate change-focused one world economy that will strip away property rights and basic democratic rights. They are not hiding this stuff, they are shouting it from the rooftops. The World Economic Forum boasts on its website that the only acceptable response to the COVID crisis is to pursue a great reset of our economies, our politics, and our societies. Great deception.
So you have it there in the video there. The man tells you there all that good stuff. And recently, not too long ago, let me look this up. Canada already rolled out mandatory digital ID for welfare recipients. So not for everybody, but that's a step closer. To telling everybody to go ahead, go and get a digital ID, and then next thing you know, to get the RFID microchip. Because basically they use gradualism. If you don't know what that is, that's they use gradualism. Look the fucking word up if you don't fucking know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, here's an article of it. Digital ID says. Here an AI overview about that. It says Canada is developing a national digital ID system, not currently mandatory, but intended to be a secure, convenient way to prove identity for online government, banking, and other services using apps to store digital versions of license permits, but concerns exist about privacy, potential government control, and mandatory usage of essential services. Why pilots? Yeah, you got the point. So it's not mandatory yet. But we already know what these things are getting closer to become over. And to add on top of that, you had Kim Jong-un talking about 2-year-old was given life sentence in North Korea for having a Bible. Yeah, AI is confirming it as well, so don't think I'm lying. That a 2-year-old child in North Korea was sentenced to life imprisonment in a political prison camp after their parents were found with a Bible. The incident occurred in 2009, but was highlighted in the U.S. State Department's 2022 report on international religious freedom. Yeah, and Kim Jong-un, that's over there in North Korea, America wants... The elites have made America to look like they're freedom. North Korea is the enemy. They're different, two different sides. And they are two different sides, but of the same coin and of the same agenda. So that's them. That's what they're doing. Once again, what's the agenda? The agenda is New World Order. Okay. Going more into that, It's Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and the right grievousness which they have prescribed. That's what that is. Okay, it's no U.S. is no different from, or I should say this: the average idiot out there, American idiot out there, doesn't know that U.S. North Korea they're all the same motherfuckers, man. They're all communists. They're all. Look, bro, it goes in deep. You gotta do your own research, bro. Basically, though, what the fuck do you think the UN meetings are about? United Nations. And what does it go back to? Tower of Babel, Psalm 83. What does it say? They have conspired together. They're still conspiring together. And in today's time, they have got more power, resources, people, and money, which equals a form of control. And that's what we're at. That's where we're at right now with this. Let me check this out. I think this was going into the mark of the beast as well. Yahoo Finance. Okay, and this is going into this as well. I got this article last time. I'm gonna get it again. The title is "The Economy Avoided a Recession in 2025, but Many Americans Are Reeling." And it makes me ask what's going to happen in 2026. I can't help but imagine, let's see, after reading this article here, what will happen in 2026. It says a feared recession didn't materialize, but unemployment rose, wage growth slowed, and affordability challenges are mounting. How worse is it going to get in 2026? Could 2026 be the year that the Motb comes out? Or that the economy is even closer to the brink of collapse? We'll have to find out and see. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but an end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. The Lord says it's going to come. It will surely come. Whether it comes now, this year, it's still a matter of time to see. Because it's verse 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, the wicked, but the just shall live by his faith. Okay. So we're living by faith and expecting this to happen. Whether it comes this year or not, I hope at least. Which I don't care. We might be here till 2030. I'm already expecting that in the spirit. But and then I got this article: 22 states in or not near a recession right now, and what it means for residents. In the recent Moody's Analytics report detailed by Realtor.com, a somewhat grim scenario emerged for nearly half of U.S. states. According to Moody's, those states were either embroiled in a recession or at high risk of entering one. Gold banking rates dives deep into which states are being affected and what that means if you live in one of them. States in a recession, the list of states provided included, it said nearly half, so that's like 25 states. Like 22 states there. There's a list there for you. Michigan in there, which is where I live in. Kansas in there. Shout out to the Kansas camp. And the New Jersey there is there. Shout out to the New Jersey camp. This is so that's going into states in or near a recession right now. In the face. So what's up, bro? So kind of once again, Isaiah 10:1 here. China deploys SWAT teams in mass arrests of Christians as crackdown on house churches intensifies. Yeah, that goes right in line with the Motb. Goes right in line with the mark of the beast and the new age that they're going to be bringing in, where they can kind of going back to where they that 2-year-old little boy in North Korea that got life imprisonment for their parents having being found with a Bible. It's all going also correlates this mark of the beast with wanting to track and control everything. Once again, it's all to track and control everything. Going back to Habakkuk, because Esau is proud and he's picking a fight against the Lord. Daniel 7. You go into Daniel 7, this is verse 25. And you shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. So that's what the wicked is doing. It's Job 9:24. And think to change times and laws. It's what the wicked is. It's what Esau's been doing in this whole time of controlling and empowering. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times in the dividing of time. Again, Esau's picking the fight with the Lord. Going back to 21. And I beheld in the same horn, talking about Esau, made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Yep. That's what the mark of the beast is about. It's a sign of Esau wanting more power and wanting to end our rulership. That's what it's about. So these day times and the days are coming, Revelation 2 and 9, or 10. Fear none of those things that thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried. Then you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Because the whole goal of this mark of the beast is for, and the mind of Esau and his plan is to bring it out to counteract the blessing that Jacob is given because these are they already know about, they know what we know, that where the Israelites and the Edomites and Yahweh's return is coming, and their military, their generals know this, their top officials, especially the elites, they know this. That's why they came out with the Space Force. Ronald Reagan signed the Star Wars programs, bring the Space Force. Trump funded the Space Force in his last year of his office, presidency, and they're still funding them. Because they want to pick a fight with the Lord, and that's the whole point of that. Matter of fact, just to further emphasize on this too, on December 4th, 2025, you had an article here. It's not the one on this screen. I got my other phone on this other screen. I'm using this one. Canada moves to make quoting certain Bible passages hate speech. Once again, going into the censorship, the control, it all goes right in line with the Motb as well. The Motb just represents Esau wanting to control more and more and more. Okay, once again, it said in Habakkuk, which I didn't get it, but I was going to get it. He is a proud man, whose desire is his hell and is his death and is not satisfied. He wants more and more and more control, more and more power. So with that, I mean, that's the point of this. I mean, the lesson's point has been made. Esau is going to come down. It all goes right in line with Amos 8. Well, so just touching briefly on the Motb, what's gonna happen. Once again, you're gonna have to buy and sell to get this Motb. For those who don't know, it's a microchip or a head implant, however they put it. It's definitely it's gonna be something they stick inside of you. Amos 8 verse because I actually got nothing else. We're going back to that article, Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, says the Lord, I will present a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. Yeah, because they're going to label us at that. It says so in 2 Esdras 16, or 15. No, it's 2 Esdras 16, prepare for the battle and be even as pilgrims. So we're going to have to be as pilgrims in that time when it comes down to them shutting us down, labeling us terrorists, which hasn't happened as of yet to that extent. But when that day comes, it's going to happen. And I just personally believe when that time comes, the mark of the beast is going to be here.
Scientists have developed the world's first wireless mind control system. Control mice with the flick of a switch. The mice were engineered with nanoparticle-activated switches in their brains, and then turning on a magnetic field. They're calling the tech magnetogenic interface for neurodynamics.
This is for those that's not gonna watch this video that don't think that Esau will be able to control you with an RFID chip, are gonna be stupid enough to go and say
or nanomind for short. So what they use is called a viral vector. A viral vector is a virus, adreno-associated viruses. They change the RNA and DNA. That's how they program viruses. Once they get in, they can replicate. They inject this virus. The virus is used to deliver this genetic code, and then it mutates inside your brain. They're called ion channels. And then these ion channels, they stick to these magnetic nanoparticles. And then whenever there's a magnetic field, it kind of pulls a torque on those nanoparticles. And then the brain interprets that torque as activation for neurons. And then if they have multiple nanoparticles in other areas, and then they allow these magnetic fields to activate in certain sequences, certain neuron paths will open in certain patterns. Auditory or visual, your frontal lobe, which then will cause you to do certain activity or feel certain things. And it's done wirelessly. Imagine if all these drones sending
magnetic pulses through your phone, through your smart glasses. And then they can have an EEG device in there to read the waves, verify that things are being changed, and then sending new pulses to activate more actions.
So that, I mean, that's the point on that. Esau's a mad scientist for sure. This is the ancient serpent. The crafty. This is from years of research that, and now it's gonna play out. Oh, they accomplished a diligent search. Psalm 64:6. They search our iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Actually, even better, Job 20. And this is Job 20:22. Or 20, surely. Fuck. Okay, 23. Anyway, here. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain upon him while he is eating. Yeah, but that's what's gonna happen. Okay, because Esau's end of the road, Jacob is the beginning that follow. So with that, Shalom and the bar. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9.